Around 10 years ago, I was part of a team developing software for the oil and gas sector. Our way of working was the traditional waterfall model. So, we went into a cave confident we understood exactly what our clients needed. After 2 years of hard work, we came out of the cave, but shockingly, no one wanted our product. As a result, we had no choice but to shut everything down. The day we packed up and closed the office was one of the hardest of my life. This is a picture of that day. Since we had self-funded the project, I personally lost almost 100,000 US dollars. But this coin had another side. It was my turning point. A few months later, I began reflecting on what had gone wrong. That search led me to discover Scrum, which was like the missing part of the puzzle, and of course, a magical way of working. Yes, Scrum is a structured way of collaboration and teamwork to build new products within these expectations. First, you want to build a quality product. Second, you want to build the right product. Third, you want to deliver the product with acceptable time to market. And fourth, you want to control risks. I am Mehdi Hosseini, a professional Scrum trainer with Scrum.org and with more than 20 years of experience in the software industry. I'm gonna walk you through a quick tour of Scrum. So stay with me. Every team, regardless of its field, needs a collaboration structure to succeed. Consider a football team, a flight crew, or a rowing team. None of them can achieve their goals through random, uncoordinated interactions. Imagine trying to get a group of people to fly a plane without any defined way of collaboration. It simply wouldn't work. Scrum operates on the same principle. Its rules guide team relationships and interactions. A Scrum Guide is the formal document for the Scrum definition. You can download it on this website, scrumguides.org. Scrum fundamentally has three main characteristics. First, it's an empirical way of working. Second, it's like an iceberg. And third, it is purposefully incomplete. Let's discuss these characteristics in a very simple way. First, empirical way of working. Scrum is founded on empiricism. Empiricism means using past facts, evidence, and lessons learned for the upcoming decision making. Imagine trying to drive your car strictly based on a Gantt chart and upfront planning. It would assure you that if you follow the plan exactly, you will reach your destination on time. But what happens when you encounter the realities of the road? Pedestrians, other vehicles, cyclists, traffic lights, and emergency vehicles. None of these variables can be fully predicted in advance. Rigidly sticking to such a plan would likely lead to mistakes, delays, or even accidents. Instead, driving is based on an adaptive approach. Seeing the surroundings transparently through the car's windows, frequently inspecting the environment, and adapting as needed. You adjust speed, brake, or change course to respond to the ever-changing conditions of the road. This dynamic process is how drivers navigate uncertainties safely and effectively. Scrum applies the same approach to manage uncertainties in product development. By promoting transparency, regular inspection, and timely adaptation, Scrum ensures teams respond to challenges dynamically, making informed decisions in real time. Second, Scrum is like an iceberg. Scrum employs the iterative development and incremental delivery approach to manage uncertainties and stay tuned to stakeholders' expectations. Let's explore the difference between the traditional way of product development and Scrum. In traditional development, work follows a sequential model, meaning a usable product is only available at the very end of the project. If stakeholders are not satisfied with the outcome, it's often too late to make meaningful adjustments. Scrum, by contrast, focuses on frequent delivery. Work is broken into iterations called sprints lasting no more than 1 month. Each sprint results in a usable piece of the product. This output is then shared with stakeholders, allowing for feedback to ensure the project stays aligned with their needs and expectations. As I said, Scrum is like an iceberg. First, let's explore the visible part of the iceberg to understand the Scrum flow. The flow starts with the product backlog, which is an emergent ordered list of what is needed to improve the product. It also contains the future desired state of the product called product goal, serves as the team's work source, and is continuously updated to reflect changes and new expectations. This continuous update is called product backlog refinement. A sprint begins with a sprint planning event where the Scrum team collaboratively defines a goal for the sprint and outlines the required work to achieve it. This plan is formed by selecting items from the top of the product backlog. The result of this event is a sprint backlog, a highly visible real-time picture of the sprint work and updated throughout the sprint as more is learned. For complex problems, there are no experts. So the best way is to rely on the expertise, creativity, and experience of a self-managing team. Therefore, the Scrum team was designed as a flat, cross-functional, and self-managing team to navigate uncertainties. It is a cohesive unit of professionals with typically 10 or fewer members. The Scrum team consists of 3 accountabilities: 1 Scrum Master, 1 Product Owner, and developers. There are no people managers, sub-teams, or hierarchies in the team. Developers are the people who implement the work and create a usable piece of the product called increment each sprint. The product owner is accountable for maximizing the value of the product by managing the content and their order in the product backlog. Scrum Master is like an orchestra conductor, helping the team breathe together and create a unified performance. The Scrum Master is accountable for establishing the Scrum framework and the Scrum team's effectiveness. Throughout the sprint, developers meet each other every day to inspect their progress toward the sprint goal and adapt the sprint backlog as necessary, adjusting the upcoming planned work. This daily event, known as Daily Scrum, has a 15-minute time box serving developers to get aligned. At the end of the sprint, the Scrum team and stakeholders meet each other to inspect the outcome of the sprint and determine future adaptations. The main objective of the sprint review is to get feedback from stakeholders to ensure alignment and verify if the work is moving in the right direction. After that, the Scrum team uses another event, sprint retrospective, to plan ways to improve their way of working. In fact, the Scrum team regularly works in 2 lines: building the product and improving the way they build the product. The second one is the primary topic of discussion in the sprint retrospective. After the conclusion of the current sprint, a new sprint starts immediately. This shape shows the Scrum flow. Until now, the elements introduced have been the visible parts of the Scrum iceberg. Relying solely on these leads to a superficial application of Scrum, often referred to as mechanical Scrum or zombie Scrum. The motions are there, but the heartbeat and emotions are missing. In contrast to the superficial use of Scrum, Professional Scrum involves not only leveraging the visible elements above the iceberg, but also incorporating the invisible components of the Scrum iceberg beneath the surface. Let's check them. Empiricism represents an adaptive approach to navigating uncertainties. It has those pillars of transparency, inspection, and adaptation with the abbreviation of TIA. Scrum values. There are 5 values in Scrum: commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage. They are the spirit of Scrum and guidelines to develop and show constructive and professional behaviors. Trust, which is the bottom line of empiricism. Without trust, empiricism simply doesn't work. Lean thinking, which is another foundation of Scrum, reduces waste and focuses on the essentials. It implies concentrating on the most important essential work that is needed to create value now. Self-management, a mental state where the team is effective at decision making of who does what, when, and how. Cross-functionality, which is also a collective mental state of the team when they are accountable for having, developing, and sharing all the required skills to create value each sprint. Professionalism. I believe this is the backbone of the Scrum team. A Scrum Guide says the Scrum team is a cohesive unit of professionals, not merely people. Professionalism guides team members to follow a code of ethics and use their best to serve their stakeholders succeed. Collective intelligence. For complex problems, there are no experts or silver bullet solutions. This is the collective intelligence of the team helping them best navigate complexities. Because of that, it is said that Scrum is built upon by the collective intelligence of the people using it. And finally, continuous improvement. The Scrum way of working is to learn by doing. So, you should develop a mindset open to continuous improvement. If you don't regularly improve your way of working, you won't be successful in navigating complexities. Third, Scrum is purposefully incomplete. Scrum combines limited defined boundaries with significant freedom consisting of 2 parts: the mandatory part and the free part. The boundaries are the core Scrum elements and the rules binding them, which must be followed. The free part allows you to select various techniques, methods, and practices as needed. Scrum doesn't prescribe specifics for this. It's your choice. It's similar to football, which has defined rules such as the number of players, the ball, the field size, etc. However, it doesn't dictate how to play on the field, allowing creativity to flourish. That's the beauty of the game. So use this potential of freedom to complete and build your Scrum way of working.